A top U.S. congressman with access to some of America's most sensitive information may have been compromised by a suspected Chinese spy. According to Axios, California Congressman Eric Swalwell, who also sits on the House Intelligence Committee, was reportedly involved in a close relationship with a suspected Chinese government spy seen here, who facilitated the potential assignment of interns into Swalwell's political offices. Now, according to the report, Fang reportedly met when Swalwell was a city councilor. At the time, she was also reportedly trying to pass off as a college student and later a fundraiser for various political campaigns. The FBI has confirmed it investigated the case, and here's how Congressman Swalwell reacted to the allegation, saying, quote, Rep. Swalwell long ago provided information about this person, whom he met more than 8 years ago, and whom he hasn't seen in nearly 6 years, to the FBI. To protect information that might be classified, he will not participate in your story. So really no comment there. Joining us to discuss is Mary Walter, host of WMAL Mornings on the Mall. Also our panelists standing by, Bobby and Robert. Mary, I'll start with you because it sounds kind of like a plot to a movie. A Chinese spy comes to the U.S., develops a close working relationship, in this case, some personal relationships as well with several U.S. politicians, and then gains major access to these government officials. And unfortunately, according to Axios, it's not a movie, it's real life. Mary, how does this happen, especially to a member of Congress?
Well, this has been happening for a while. This is not new to the Democrats. Remember, Dianne Feinstein had a Chinese spy as her driver for 20 years. You would think that they would be vetting these people just a little bit better. And the fact that this woman, Fang, she raised money to get Eric Swalwell elected. Just digest that for a second. We went after President Trump for 4 years over what was deemed an improper phone call, and Eric Swalwell is being elected by the Chinese. This is huge, but they will ignore it. The media will cover for it, and nothing to see here, and we move on. And he's on the Intel committee too, all at the same time. This is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we continue to follow it here as this comes in. Again, looking at this Axios report. Bobby, I'll go to you. These allegations, they're putting new focus on Swalwell's previous comments on China. Here's what he said about the threat from the country back in July. Listen to this.
The president's administration put out a statement that you have China and Russia and Iran, and they're all interfering, and gave this false equivalence to them. The way the administration is proceeding is to just say, well, everyone is interfering, and that's just not accurate.
Okay, so Bobby, a false equivalence when it comes to China and Russia. Then again, you know, we find out these allegations about the connection to the Chinese agent, and at the same time, it was Swalwell who kept pushing Russian collusion with Donald Trump. Your thoughts on how this is all playing out?
Well, right. My thought is you don't have to be like Sherlock Holmes or Inspector Clouseau to find the source of what's really going on. All you need to do is listen to the Democrats and what they're claiming that the Republicans are doing, and then investigate the Democrats, because that always seems to be the deal. I mean, we've got Hunter Biden and Joe Biden in with Russia, in with China. We know it, yet they're screaming. We've got Eric Swalwell doing the exact same thing. This guy was infiltrated, basically recruited, if they go back to city council, by a Chinese spy, and he's the one that's calling out President Trump. It's obscene the way they do this. They will attack and attack and attack, yet those are the things that are going on within the Democrats. The whole party is corrupt. But again, all you need to do is look at Swalwell, look at Biden, Hunter, and Joe, and see where the real corruption is. Start the investigation there. I think you'll uncover a lot.
Well, Joe Biden, Eric Swalwell, both men in positions of power. And House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy reacted to these new allegations against Swalwell, calling him a security threat, saying this: Rep. Swalwell has long been disqualified from serving on the Intel Committee. For years, he peddled Russian disinformation for political gain. Now we find out he was involved in an effort by a reported spy to gather info for China. Swalwell is a national security liability. Robert, is Congressman Swalwell compromised?
Not only is he compromised, but he's it's been proven, right? At this particular point, we don't even know the extent of what he has offered the Chinese through this particular agent. When we talk about him being disqualified or discredited, I mean, it's absolute. And so that's another problem when you start thinking about the hypocrisy that Bobby was talking about, is that you've got this Democrat-led, they point fingers at everybody, they have this holier-than-thou persona that they put, but then when somebody within their own party has something like this come about, because of the Democratic leadership, they're not taking any action against him. I mean, I believe in due process for everybody. At this particular point, this is an ongoing investigation, and he needs to be removed from anything that he could see top secret. They need to remove files. They need to do everything they possibly can to see how far and how deep this has really gone. They're not doing enough. They need to be swift as it relates to the Congress.
Yeah. I mean, always the question is who knew what and when did they know it?
That's right.
We'll continue to follow this story. It's very, very fascinating here. Our panelists stand by. If you don't mind, Mary Walter, we appreciate you joining us for this segment. Guys, thanks so much.
Okay, friends, thanks so much for watching. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you'll be notified. And here's a special video just for you so you can watch even more of the 13-minute news hour. And don't forget to check out GOPUSA.com for the best in conservative news and commentary. We'll see you next time.